Welcome. This is Jim from 1-800-OLD-TOYS. And today I have a Tonka sanitary system, otherwise known as a refuse or a dump truck. Now, this particular truck looks like it really hasn't been played with. I mean, I haven't cleaned this yet. I don't know if I'm going to clean it. There's really just a lot of dust on it, and I prefer not to try to wash or rinse trucks before I take a close look at them. I'll probably spot clean it, and I'll show you why. You might be able to see right about in here, it's a little bit darker. I'm trying to shine the light on it, but it's a little bit darker. It's dirty. There's some pitting in these three spots predominantly, which is not significant considering this had to be stored somewhere. And it's got a nice bumper and grill. It's got nice little detail, the hooks and the T for Tonka and the original little headlights here. So it's in really nice shape. It's a really nice toy. I don't think it was used much. It doesn't look like anything's damaged on it. So I'm going to assume, based upon where I got it from, that this was probably a carpet toy, or maybe it was used outside. One way we could tell is by looking at the wheels. So what I'm going to do before I turn it over is I'm going to try to remove this little refuge tank. This is the pail. It would be on the ground in front, and this arm would be swung all the way down. I don't want to do it now because it's spring loaded and I don't want it to snap up. I have to have the vehicle turned around where the mechanisms are so I can control it. So this would be sitting on the ground, and you would attempt to pick it up where these two little standouts are. And once you swung it up, it would lock in, and then you would basically actually go this way. Once you swung it up, it'd lock in, and it'd basically dump in the back. And then also this back tips up. I'll show you later. But this is all plastic. This is probably something I will put in the sink and wash. I don't know if I'll put any plastic. Well, actually, I think this is tin. This isn't plastic. So this I'll probably wash and use a hairdryer to dry it off. One time, well, back in the late 80s, I bought a Lionel train set, and I took the trucks off the bottom, and the bottom is steel, and I washed and rinsed out all the plastic tops. And I wanted to make sure everything was dry, so I put them in the oven, and I forgot about them. And the tops on top of the train cars collapsed. And I'll never forget that, because I have a set of doors and a little man and some other things I took off the boxcar before I threw it out that still linger around here somewhere in this toy room. But needless to say, you got to be, you got to be careful. If you put something in the oven and it's food and you burn it, you shouldn't put your toys in the oven. Anyway, so that's that. So this is, so Tonka made this in 59, 60, and 61. Now the 59 has a more squared back, and it's a ribbed, body. And it has similar wheels, similar cab, I believe. And in 59, 60, 61, I believe it had the same logo, the same colors, the same words. And that's important. Logos really are helpful in defining the year, or at least, a span of a few years that it was built or made. And this particular truck is consistent with the labeling in the 59, 60, 61 time frame. Here we have the control mechanisms. So this is Jim from 1-800-OLD-TOYS. If you have a item you want me to take a look at, or if you need information, you could call me or email me pictures at oldtoys@yahoo.com. So I didn't have this toy as a child, and I haven't spent hours with a toy like this. So I'm gonna take a guess on how this actually works. So I believe that this mechanism controls this. So let's move this all the way forward. And we don't want it to snap back because we don't know what's going to happen if it does. There it is. So now, theoretically, actually, how it's supposed to work is you would, you would push the vehicle and get the box to load, like so. And then you would push this lever down and hope it doesn't just spring back and break a showcase. Let's see what happens. I'm actually very concerned about this, so I'm going to put my hand up. Yep, see? So, anyway, so the refuse container would come back and it would eventually dump in the back. Okay, so we saw what could happen to little Johnny. He'd be scared and upset. He'd probably start crying. And who knows, maybe that's the reason why this toy was never played with. I always try to figure out why a toy wasn't played with. So given that the position of the toy in terms of this arm is forward, if I push it back down, and look at that, little plastic nipple came off right here. See that? What? After what? 70 years? It pops off. Anyway, so let's see. Let's see what happens. So if I push this back again, there you go. So you can see how the action is supposed to work without the refuse container falling off. So that went back. Say you go forward again, you leave the container and you get to the transfer station. They have fancy names for dumps today, called transfer stations. And you would get there and you take this lever, and how uneventful this is. You would just lift it up, okay, until it opens. So this looks like this lever. There you go. That's a better position for this lever. You don't want to scratch the side. So this would, this would open up, and this is supposed to flip out. And you would be at the transfer station, and you'd back it in. And you dump it, and then you pull it out and take off. And there you go, on your way back to get your next load. So I don't see, let's see, I don't think this locks. Let's take a look now. And we have to be careful with this black arm here. So I don't see any locking mechanism here. So this is just a simple lift system that's used, that was used before hydraulic was introduced. We could see by looking at the wheels that this did see some play on the concrete. I got to assume that, somebody had it on the sidewalk. Maybe not. Maybe that's just, yeah, that could be just dust. Sorry if that was gross, but yeah, those tires look very good. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're scratched from concrete at all, So this was a carpet toy, if it was played with at all. It's a handsome toy made by Tonka. So they made this 3 years, as I said. And during those 3 years, they had the same label. It was a 59, 60, and 61. The 59 had the square back. The 60 had this back. And the 61, the only difference I could see is that the 61 had white walls. And it's supposed to be rare. Now, let me tell you, maybe they are rare. But since the only difference that I could ascertain between the 2 years is the white walls, I would suspect that a lot of people are probably finding these and swapping out the white walls, the black walls for white walls, and calling them rare. There has to be another way to tell that it's a 61 instead of a 16. I don't know what it is. Oh, look at that. This is the hydraulic actuator for this swing arm right here. You can see this mechanism. It's in pretty good shape. There's no dirt. I don't know what this was for here. This might have had some function. Maybe they used this space on several other trucks. I don't know. It's got a nice clean tab in the back, if you can see that. This is a really nice truck. So let's give it one more try. See if this thing will snap back and behave itself. Are you ready? I'm not. I think I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know what it is. There you go. Okay, let's see it dump. Boom. And there you go. Nice 1960 Tonka Sanitation, sanitary service truck number 140. And by the way, the white wall tires need to be accompanied by a white bumper for it to be rare. So that's how you distinguish somebody who's trying to sell a 61 when there's really a 60. The white bumper gives it away. All right, thank you. This is Jim from 1-800-OLD-TOYS. If you have a toy or questions about old toys that you have and you want to send me a picture, you could email me at oldtoys@yahoo.com, or you could call me at 1-800-OLD-TOYS. Thank you. Bye.